हरि ओम जी. ओम सदाशिवसमारंभां शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. So I think we saw the first 7 verses in the 10th chapter. Okay. A simple chapter actually, when he is enumerating certain forms in which, or certain vibhutis of the Lord, where you can invoke the Lord. As I said, Lord is everywhere. Everything is nothing but Ishvara. Therefore, you can invoke Ishvara in anything, including this water bottle. But this water bottle is not going to invoke any feeling out of you. Water bottle, like, yeah. Then, so you will take a little inspiring form, like how you can invoke Ganesha on an elephant. But what type of an elephant? Not a 6 feet tall, puny little thing, but a mighty tusker. On that you will feel. That can represent Ganesha. So it should be something inspiring. So any inspiring glory that you see is nothing but Ishvara's glory. So in other words, any glory you and I have also are Ishvara's glory. Let us say somebody has the ability to sing very well, like our friend Shraboni here. Okay. Ishvara's glory. Okay. Or somebody can paint or dance or make others dance. Ishvara's glory only, okay. Yeah, it's all Ishvara's glory. I mean, others dance, it sounds like a joke. But do you not have a bhajan describing Krishna like that? Sabko naach nachaya. Yeah, see, whatever I say, there is some basis in it, Yeah. So, even that ability is something, part of Ishvara's glory. Therefore, it's a simple chapter. Let us see what the next few verses are about. Okay. If any of you has a doubt over something, stop me and ask, okay? Okay. Aham sarvasya prabhavaha mattas sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddhaha bhava samanvitaha. Aham sarvasya prabhavaha. I am the source, the creator of everything that is there. And by me alone, everything is sustained. I am the basis for everything. Therefore, naturally it follows everything will be resolved into you also, though he has not mentioned that. It's understood. Okay. Iti matva bhajante mam. Knowing this in this manner, those who worship me, he says, buddhaha bhava samanvitaha. They have the vision of what Ishvara is about. Because understanding Ishvara is a very funny thing, Each one will have our own opinions about what Ishvara is. And lot of belief systems. So we have broken down all these belief systems or classified them into 6-7 belief systems. And we are calling it 6-7 ways of knowing and relating to Ishvara. This will be the subject matter for the camp. Next Saturday, Sunday. So next Saturday there will be no class, okay? 4 to 6 will be the evening class in the camp. So this is one of the subject matters. 7 ways of knowing Ishvara. And the way you know, you will relate. That depends upon your psychological maturity. And vice versa. When you have a better understanding of Ishvara and a better way of relating, you will definitely become more psychologically mature. That will be the subject matter of the camp. 2 days, Saturday, Sunday. Okay. So welcome to that. If you are not registered, please do so. Because we have to know whether we should take an extra Zoom connection or not, depending upon the number of participants. Okay. All right. Therefore, aham sarvasya prabha matta eva sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddhaha bhavasanvitaha. They have the right vision of Ishvara. This is. Okay. Which will transform itself on some more learning into a vision of the obtaining identity between Ishvara and themselves. That is the final level of understanding Ishvara. Okay, that we will see. Then, how is the worship? What is the worship for someone who has got this type of vision? See, if you have this vision, you can do a normal worship. Okay? But what will their worship, real worship be like? Machittaha, madgata pranaha, bodhyanta parasparam, katayantascha mam nityam, tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Machittaha, their mind resolved in me. Madgata pranaha, pranaha here stands for your life, not just your breathing. Okay? But breathing is used as symbolic for life, because no life, no breathing. That's why someone gave breathing exercise and called it art of living, because no living without breathing anyway. Okay. But living is much more. Living is your emotions, living is your cognition, living is your knowledge, living is your priorities. Okay. So, madgata prana. Ultimately, it all resolves into Ishvara. Okay, madgata prana. Bodhyanta parasparam. They help each other understand. Okay. That is the beauty of a class or a physical camp that we have. And the class is physical, you are relating to with people of similar mindsets. They may come from different backgrounds, different socio-economic status, but all of them have one thing in common: mokshecha. Therefore, that becomes a support group literally. Your class, the campmates, everything is actually speaking a community, a support group for you to understand the truth. Whom else are you going to discuss this with? Are you going to discuss this with some business associate? If you are a young parent, are you going to discuss this with your mother or mother-in-law about moksha and things like that? They say, all this is too much at your age, don't do. Look after your kids. So who said you can't look after your kids and go for moksha? Yeah. Or before, when you are dating somebody, when you are going around, how much of this can you discuss with that guy? Or that girl for that matter? Unless both are involved into it. That happens. Sometimes people meet in my camp or my class and then they get involved, Couple of marriages also has taken place like that. Which is good, because at least you're getting partners who are interested. But other than that, whom are you going to discuss it with? Therefore, parasparam bodhayantaha katayantascha mam nityam. They'll talk about me, Ishvara, Parameshwara, Atma Swarupaha, they'll talk about that. Yeah. कहते हैं तुष्यंती च रमंती च. Therefore, the more and more they start discovering Ananda, tushyanti cha ramanti cha. They are very happy with it, they revel in it. Yeah. Because you really start understanding Vedanta, it is no more a thing that you think has to be done. Baba, arey, Saturday, I better go and do it. Better set for the class. No, you are looking forward to it, you are enjoying it. Yeah. Why? Because this is one teaching that doesn't say you are a stupid idiot, you are a sinner, etc. It says you are Ananda. You are great, you are unique. You are the only reality that is there. So, tushanti cha ramanti cha. Okay. All right. Okay. Therefore, in the discovery of Ananda, all joy and fulfillment happens. Fulfillment happens. Whether, irrespective of how in other ways successful your life is or not. Okay? Success in the world is a funny thing. Okay? Not only your effort, etc. is involved, it's a huge factor of luck involved. That depends on your past karma, etc. Luck is always dependent on past karma. It's karma phala. So, everyone may not be very successful in other aspects in terms of, we generally, when we say finance, we'll talk in terms of what? Success, we'll talk in terms of finance, property, things like that. Maybe, may not be. But after all, what is life meant for? What is the ultimate priority in life? Your fulfillment as a person. In fact, it is not even dependent on the success of your relationships. Though I do say, if anyone wants to become a full-timer, you better go and fall in love at least once and come back. Why? Because the relationship has something to teach you. Good, bad or ugly, it doesn't matter, it has something to teach you. Yeah. However good it is, however bad it is, however ugly it is. It has got something to teach you. And very often a failed relationship teaches much more than a happy, successful one. Okay. Not that a happy, successful one can't teach you anything, it takes a little more time. Because you have to realize that in spite of that, I am still not fulfilled enough. And don't project that lack of fulfillment on the relationship. That's important. I hear people nowadays coming and telling me, this relationship is not going anywhere. I said, where do you expect it to go? You are married, you have got kids, you sing and you care for each other and you do things for each other, you nurture each other. It's not going anywhere. Where do you expect it to go? After this, it can only go downhill. You are married, you care for each other, you are nurturing each other, you look after your kids well, good parents to your kids. Or kya? Don't expect moksha in the relationship. You can get moksha from the relationship. But in the relationship, don't look for moksha. Look for moksha in yourself. So, okay. Tushyanti cha, ramanti cha. Okay. Then what? Again, another point is making. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajantam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam apnuvanti te. Tesham satata yuktanam. Those who are totally always committed to me like that, satatam, satata yuktanam, bhajantam priti purvakam, worships me Preeti Purvakam, out of love. Not out of, oh, this is Nitya Karma, I am supposed to do this. Bhagavan will get angry if I don't do this. Or Majburi hai yaar, his family traditions, I have to do this. Not like that. Preeti Purvakam. Out of love, out of affection, out of a certain commitment that comes, a loving commitment. Okay. For that he says, what happens? Dadami buddhi yogam tam to those people. Buddhi yogam dadami, jnanam dadami. I will give them the vision, that knowledge. Okay. Yena mam upayantite, by which they discover their oneness with me. Now this is one place where Buddhi Yogam is used in a different sense. In the second chapter, etc., Krishna had used Buddhi Yogam as Karma Yoga. If you remember, second half, when he is starting the second half of the second chapter, he had said, what I talk to you in terms of knowledge, I am going to talk to you in terms of Buddhi Yoga, an attitude towards action. Because an attitude, it was called Buddhi Yoga. So generally, the term in the Gita, when he says Buddhi Yoga, he talks about it from the standpoint of Karma Yoga. Not here. Here, he is talking in terms of pure knowledge. This is one of those exceptions. So make a mark there. And that in this chapter, Buddhi Yogam dadami, jnanam dadami. Okay, I am going to give you that knowledge. Okay, by which you will gain, you will understand your oneness with me. You still have to work a little bit on your nishtha, that much is there, but otherwise fine. Okay? Yeah. You may have to do something to make it a part of your life. But if your understanding of Ishvara really is good, more complete, then nishtha becomes much easier. Nishtha becomes much easier. Nishtha meaning this knowledge being a part of your life. Yeah, becomes much, much easier. Okay. How does he do that here? Tesham eva anukampartham aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayami atma bhavastaha jnanadipena bhasvata. Tesham, for these people who are committed to me, who worship me, who seek me, for those people, anukampartham, out of my compassion for them, my love for them. It takes some compassion, you know. Look at it. This is an old example in Vedanta. If you are a sarpadashtaha, meaning you have been bitten by a snake, it is natural for someone to be compassionate towards you, and help you. Why? You have been bitten by a snake, Baba. Put a tourniquet, bleed a bit, wash that area with soap and water, take to the closest hospital available. All that is very natural. But supposing there is a guy hopping around on one foot, saying, I have been bitten, and you look and all there is a rope, there is no snake. How compassionate can you be to that guy? Yeah. You feel like the idiot, there is no snake there. What are you talking about? But that's exactly what Ishvara is saying. It requires some compassion to be Have compassion for these characters. हाय इंसान के भटभक्ति, हाय अंदाज के बाहर, खुद खुदा होकर बंदा नजर आते हैं. In a Swarupa, you are nothing but Ishvara himself. What are you saying but? मालिक तेरे बंदे हो हम, मानेंगे तेरे 10 नियम. ये क्या है? What type of nonsense is that? And the preachers of that religion come and abuse you and you feel happy. Ah, you're a sinner. Yeah, I've done a lot of sins, Baba. इंसान के भट भक्ति. Okay. One of my students is a phenomenal scholar himself. Okay. Sahaya, K.N. Sahaya. Kesari Nandan Sahaya. He used to love this particular doha. Yeah. All right. Therefore, anukampartham aham ajnanajam tamaha. The tamas that is there in them, ajnanajam, born of ignorance, the covering born of ignorance, the darkness born of ignorance. What is that? Nashayami. Where is their ignorance? Atma bhavastaha. In their own minds. Atma bhavaya. In their own minds it is there. Aham nashayami. How? Jnana deepena bhasvataha. By the well-flamed light of knowledge, well-lit flame of knowledge, I will destroy it. Acha. Bhagavan himself will come and do it. For Arjuna, yes. For Arjuna, yes. For all of us, some local guru will be, he'll send some local guru, or he'll send you to a local guru. Either a local guru will come all the way from Rishikesh to Bombay, chalo, one public talk. And this idiotic, arrogant youngster I was walked in. ये स्वामी लोग क्या बोल रहा है देखने को. Yeah. Or he'll take you there. Okay. Some guy said, we are going on a trek, would you like to join? Yes. And then, after the trek, hey, we need a 2 days break, rest somewhere here. Where do they walk in? To our ashram in Rishikesh for a couple of days break. Because one of them happens to know the ashram. See, you are going on a trek into the Himalayas. Where did you land up in our ashram finally? Acha, ye also. And there you meet some English speaking youngsters. Acha, in English also in today's world? Oh? I thought all the ashrams they talked only in Hindi. No, this ashram is different. Yeah. Acha, that's good. It's good to know that. What do they teach here, etc.? And the manager says, go meet those guys. There are those characters sitting. But they all look so orthodox or in their dhoti and their angavastram and things like that. No, that character was a marine engineer. Go talk to him. Acha, he's a marine engineer in his ashram. Oh, okay. Meaning, the guru that is appropriate for you or you can relate, he'll send to you or you will take you to him. That way. Krishna don't expect Krishna to come directly and talk to all of you, okay? Nahi hoega. Yeah. Manmohana will not come. Ram Mohan can come. Okay, he'll send that guy. Okay, here, go. Teach these characters. And then I'm thinking, karne ka ye? Yeah, karne ka hai. Because someone like that came and taught me, so, okay. Yeah. All right. Therefore, jnana deepena, bhasvataha jnana deepena. By the well-lit flame of knowledge. Because the whole problem of samsara is one of ignorance, not one of experience. See, you experience a sense of limitation. But it is the thing that you make out of it, out of that experience, the conclusions that you draw. Because I am experiencing finitude, I am finite. That is a conclusion. And that is Ajnanajam. In Vedanta, we say the other way around. Because you are experiencing finitude, you are not finite. Because you are independent of all your experiences. But if you are going for an experience-oriented thing, it is a problem. Why then moksha becomes an experience? What is the experience? Body and mind. You are independent of them. Correct. Then samadhi mein jaane ka. Then samadhi becomes another experience. Therefore, which is more true? The samadhi experience that you had for an hour, Swamiji, not 1 hour, 1 week I was in samadhi. Very good. Someone came and talked to me like this in Rishikesh. Swamiji, for 1 week I sat in samadhi. I now realized. I said, very good. So, which is more true? That 1 week of samadhi or your 30 years of misery? Because he is 30-year-old. Which is more true? Tell me that. Any logic to show that 1 week is more important than the 30 years? You have to experience it to know it. And I have experienced that. कुछ बड़ा बात नहीं है. No big deal. And you don't have to go all the way to Rishikesh to experience it. You don't have to be sitting on some river bank to experience it. You can experience that wherever you are. Not a problem. Big deal. Some of those experiences I have had in my small 1-bedroom flat in Bombay, which I was staying before. Some on a train, second-class sleeper compartment of a train. Experiences can be there anywhere. It is not environment dependent. You carry your environment inside you. That's the most important thing. You may be in the most beautiful of places, most spiritual of places, but here it is sab kachra bhara hua hai, bhusa bhara hua hai, as we say. What are you going to profit from there? You went to Pashupatinath and you saw the Kala Bhairava Murti there. Aha, what energy in that Murti. Oh Lord, give me some of your power. Good, acha hai. Why do you want that power? I can destroy all my enemies. I can destroy these idiots in my life. What are you doing? You are not praying as a bhakta, you are praying as a rakshasa. Yeah, doesn't work. That's not the way to moksha. Yeah. So you can become a Kutti Ravana if you want, a mini Ravana if you want. That's okay. Yeah. Anyway, that apart. Okay, but Jnana Deepena. It is not experience orientation that matters. In fact, experience orientation is a problem. Moksha is cognitive by its very nature. Does experience have something to teach you? Experience has a lot to teach you. Lot. Provided you are objective enough to gain from those experiences. Not moksha, about maturity. Viveka, Vairagya, Shat Sampatti. All this comes from your learning experiences of life. A sense of Vairagya. What am I doing stuck in something like this? Yeah. What am I doing in these type of interacting with my friends and relatives? God gave me my relatives. Thank God I can choose my friends. And the friends I have chosen are such. I don't want to say anything. What am I doing stuck in that? Get out of it. Vairagya, have some objectivity. I'm stuck in a bad road. Get out of it. What am I wasting my life about? So all that is experience of life. Maya being such a Massachusetts that all the pain is being heaped on you and you're still continuing in that situation. Why? How is that Vairagya? Now all this life experiences, no? If I tell a poor man money can't buy him happiness, what will he say? Swamiji, let me get the money first. It can't buy you happiness, you give your money to me. I am very happy with it. But if you tell a rich man money can't buy you happiness, Swamiji, please go ahead. I have experienced that, I know it. It can buy only a lot of comforts. But happiness it can't. He already knows it. So if you are rich in your experiences of life, Viveka, Vairagya, Shat Sampati, etc. will be natural. Yeah, it will be natural for you. And if you add mumukshutvam to it, there you are ready for moksha. Therefore, experiences of life are meant for that. It's not meant for moksha. Moksha means jnana deepena. Very clearly he makes it. Jnana deepena bhasvataha. Only by knowledge you will gain it. Yeah. Therefore, after having had some experience in life, who is to decide what type of experiences you need? I mean, who is to decide that? Who is to decide at what age you are going to seek for moksha? You have to decide. Whether you want it part-time or full-time is up to you to decide that. If it is full-time, then your guru is also involved in that decision. Yeah. Why? Because where are you going to go and study? With him only, na? Or her? Or he is going to say, this guru didn't accept me, I will find another guru who accepts me. You are in for a big mess then. You are asking to be exploited. You are begging to be exploited. Yeah. So, what age? You decide. Isn't this all too early for you? What is too early? What is too late? Isn't it too late for you? What is too late? Somewhere Shankara says, one foot into the grave, if you gain it, it is still fine. Antakalepi, he says, at the time, just you are waiting for death to snatch you away. In fact, you are praying, Lord, take me. I can't do anything more with my life now. You are in that condition, health-wise, etc. And there you got exposed to some teaching, and you said, oh my God, Aham Brahmasmi. That's true. Bas, you are free. It's never too late. Never too early. Who decides what is too early? Yeah, who decides? You need to have some experience in life which gives you some amount of Viveka Vairagya and triggers of Moksha Ichcha in you. Triggers it off nicely. That's good enough. Age is not a factor. Yeah. Age is not a factor. And how do you know that youngster has not had experiences in life anyway? Yeah, Ishvara always gives you the experiences you need. And if you don't learn from once, he'll keep repeating it. He'll send you the same experience again. You learn from it and get out of it. Yeah. Why do bad things always happen to me? Have you learned from it first round? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So second round, third round, fourth round, whatever. Yeah. क्या करेगा? So experience will come. Or sometimes karma is such that you are supposed to go through those bad experiences. No solution available. Yeah. So there it is. But there are certain human experiences that you need to have to work, to achieve, to be a little bit of an achiever, to learn how to share, to learn how to love and be loved. What is healthy love? What it means to nurture people. Those type of things you need to learn. How it is to love, what it is to confront. To confront situations and people, that also you need to learn. You can't be an namby-pamby, goody-goody character and say, I want moksha. Nahi hoega. I know there was this guy with me in the ashram, 1976 I am talking about. I know some people here were not even born at that time. Okay, 1976. Really namby-pamby, goody guy. He is still struggling a lot with his nishtha. We passed out to the ashram together. He is still struggling with his nishtha, I know that. Very, very nice person, therefore very popular person. Good karmas he has done. All that is very positive. But he is struggling with his nishtha. Why? Because one thing is he finds it very difficult to confront people. He'll just blurt out something and walk away. Arey, confront and be there, na. But the guy may say anything. Yeah, let him say anything. Ki farak painde. So those are the lessons everyone requires to learn to an extent. Common lessons. Because those are the lessons because of which you are born as a human being. A tiger doesn't have to be taught how to confront. As a tiger cub, he is ready to confront. Yeah. As a deer, you don't have to be taught when to run away. You know when to run away. But as a human being, you should know both. When to stay and fight, when to tactically withdraw. Yeah. Those are human lessons, okay? Yeah. Therefore, once you know that, then jnana deepena bhasvataha, the shining light of knowledge, the flame of knowledge will take care of it. Yeah. When you hear the Guru's teaching, you say, that is true. I can resonate with that. Yes. Yeah. And when the Guru says something which is challenging your belief system, you say, oh my God, did I really have that wrong belief system? Let me check out. You won't retire hurt. Why? Teaching is not always goody every time. Sometimes confrontation has to be there. Certain harsh realities has to be pointed out. As part of the game as a teacher. Part of the game as a student also. These are harsh realities, okay. Therefore, points it out, yeah. You will never be able to do that unless you know how to confront and how to take being confronted, isn't it? As life lessons. That you have been in confrontative situations and also you have some shraddha, etc., some trust, etc. So that is another thing that we will be handling in the camp, okay? Building trust, etc. Yeah. In a healthy manner, not in an unhealthy manner. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, after having said so much, Arjuna for a change is speaking a few verses. Not just one question or something. Okay? But half a dozen verses Arjuna is giving out. Okay? Because he also has to show that certain understanding has taken place. No? Yeah. Okay. So Arjuna vacha param brahma param dhama pavitram paramam bhavan purusham shashvatam divyam adidevam ajam vibhum ahustvam rishayas sarve devarshis naradas tatha asito devalo vyasaha swayam chaiva bravishime. He says, yes. Arjuna vacha, Arjuna said was that param brahma param dhama. Param brahma. Satyam jnanam anantam yad brahman. That Brahman which has been presented in the Upanishad as Satyam jnanam anantam. limitless existence consciousness, that Brahman, Param Dhama, the absolute abode of all beings. Finally, you have to resolve yourself only into that one. Pavitram Paramam Bhavan. Okay. Pavitram, the greatest purifier. Why? It releases you from all karma, good, bad and ugly. Pavitram. Paramam Bhavan, the absolute purifier. You are Bhavan. Okay. Purusham Shashvatam Divyam. Okay. You are the Purushaha, Ishvaraha, Shashvataha, always there. Always there, Shashvataha. Divyam, shining in all knowledge. Adi Devam Ajam Vibhum. Adi Devam, the source of all the devatas that are in heaven, etc. You are the source. Adi Devaha. Ajam, itself unborn. Vibhum, all pervading. This is you. Ahustam Rishaya Sarve. I have heard from the rishis also that this is what you are. Okay. Deva Rishis Naradas Tata. Which rishis? Deva Rishihi Narada. See, Narada, unfortunately we don't see the damage that our social media does, including Hindi movies, etc. In all these movies and serials, Narada is presented as a mischief maker. Narada was a realized soul. He was a great rishi. The Devas also respected him as a rishi. In one of the Upanishads, Narada goes to Sanat Kumara. Says, Shokasya param tarayatu, take me beyond sorrow. Sanat Kumara is Brahmaji's son, okay? And Sanat Kumara is surprised. Narada, you too? Okay. That is true. Narada was a catalyst to change. Whenever Prarabdha had to take a different route, fate had to take a different route, he would be there to ensure that change happened. Anyway, when he goes there, he says, Sanat Kumara says, tell me what you know so that I can teach you what you don't know. And Narada gives a list of all that he knows. My God, mind-blowing. Bhuta Vidya, he says. Bhuta Vidya is knowledge of all the elements. Alchemy is, etc. Preta Vidya, the knowledge of the bhutas, meaning the ghosts, etc. 4 Vedas, with all the karma, etc. Dance, music. Dhanur Vidya, the martial arts. Narada was a great expert at martial arts. Nobody thinking of the Hindi film portrayal of Narada will think he is a martial art expert. Music, dance, culture, physics, alchemy, chemistry, astronomy, astrology, both. Astronomy is the scientific part. Astrology is the predictive part. Like this, he gave some 32 disciplines he mentions. He says, this I know. But such a Narada, I am still in grief. My sense of finitude is there. Therefore, Sanat Kumara teaches him Bhuma Vidya. Bhuma meaning that which is infinite. Yad nalpam tad bhumaha. That which is not finite is called bhumaha. So, Raja Rishi Narada himself talks about you like this. He who knows the past, present and future, he is talking like this. Okay, Raja Rishiyas tata. Then what? Not only Raja Rishi like him, even here, of our time Rishis, Asitaha, Devalaha, Vyasaha. Vyasa, the one who put together all the 4 Vedas, who reconciled the differences among the Vedas and brought it all together, among the Vedic masters also, and brought it all together. Vyasaha Swayam Chaiva Bravimime, and you yourself have said it, he says. Therefore, in what way can I not accept you as Param Brahman, Param Dhamaha, Ajam, Avyayam, etc.? How can I not accept you? I understood that. Okay. Sarvametad ritam manye yanmam vadasi keshavaha nahi te bhagavan vyaktim viduhu devo dhanavaha. Not only that, he says, Sarvamevam ritam manye. I take it all as to be true. I understand that all that you said about you is true, is correct. Ritam manye. Okay, sometimes 2 words are used, Satyam and Ritam. When used individually, they can mean the same thing, what is true. When they are used together, it's an interesting thing. Satyam is what you have known from the scriptures or from your teacher or something, or what you have heard, this is true. Satyam. Ritam is what you have validated as true. Yes, I heard it and I know it. So he says in the previous verse, I heard it. Here is a Sarvam Evam Ritam Manye. I know that is to be true. I have validated that. I know it to be true. Ritam Manye. Yanmam Vadasi Keshava. All that you have told me, I take it as true. I understand it as true. Nahi te Bhagavan Vyaktim Viduhu Devana Dhanavaha. All your glories, okay, your Vibhuhu, okay, all your glories, neither the Devas nor the Dhanavas. Dhanavas are the precursors for the Rakshasas. Neither the Devas, the gods, nor the Rakshasas know your glories. What about mere mortals like us? No one knows. Okay. Therefore, he is setting up the ground for the next question, for the favor he wants to ask. Okay. Okay, no one knows this. You yourself have said nobody knows, correct? I also know that neither the Devas nor the Rakshasas know. And Arjuna can say that. Why? He has a multiple entry permanent visa for heaven, okay? Indra was his father. The ruler of heaven is his father. Okay? Kunti got him through Niyoga from Indra. Therefore, he had a permanent multiple entry visa. Anytime he wants to go, standing invitation was there, which he has already gone and come. Got into some problems also there. Why? He went as a human being, and the rules of heaven are different from the rules of earth. So seeing him, even someone like Urvashi, one of the most beautiful celestial women, Apsara, was attracted to him and wanted to get into a relationship, a physical relationship with him. But Urvashi had got into a physical relationship with one of Arjuna's ancestors. So he says, Amma, how can I do that? I take you as mother. I'm sure Urvashi felt insulted. Me? Mother? I'm eternally young. I'm eternally young. What are you calling me Amma? Amma for? I'm eternally young. What are you talking about? No. I can't respond to you. So she gives him a curse. You will become a eunuch. You're not fit to be called a man. So Arjuna goes to Indra and says, this is what has happened. So Indra calls Urvashi. See, he has come in a human body. He doesn't know the rules, etc. are different here. So be kind to him. So Urvashi withdraws her curse, but no, a curse once given cannot be withdrawn completely. So he says he'll have to be a eunuch for 1 year, and that year can be of his choosing. So when he had to go incognito for the 13th year of Vanavasa, he chose to become a eunuch. Why? How will Arjuna, the mighty warrior, go incognito? People will recognize him anywhere. Yeah. There are ways of recognizing also. Any warrior can be recognized. First, the walk will tell you. To someone who knows what a warrior is, the very walk will tell you. It is not Dadagiri walk, okay? No. It is not Dadagiri walk. Watch Bahubali, season 1, season 2, and see Kattappa's walk. You will see what a warrior walk is. Yeah. Not Bahubali. Bahubali is glorified this thing. Kattappa's walk. He is copied a warrior walk very well. Copying, but done well. Walk will. Your hands will reveal. An archer will have very peculiar calluses on his hand, on his knuckles. One glance will reveal the whole thing. Physical structure will reveal. It doesn't have to be mighty muscled, no. It will reveal. So how will he become? And among the warriors, the mightiest of them all, Arjuna, how would he hide himself? So he chose to be a Brahannala, the eunuch. That's why it said, Urvashi Shapam Upakaram. Someone like Urvashi gives you a curse, that also turn out to be a blessing for you. Very useful for you. So, what about mortal like this? Gods don't know. I know that. I've been there, gods don't know all your glories. Rakshasas, a Rakshasi is my sister-in-law. Bhima's wife, Hidambi, okay, the Rakshasi. He had a child from her also, Gatotkacha. Gatotkacha means, you know what? Whose head is as clean as a pot, meaning bald. Bald, complete. Gatotkacha. Yeah. So, Rakshasas also I know well. After all, they were related. Sister-in-law, etc. They also don't know. Yeah. So, only then what? Then he makes a very profound statement here. Swayameva atmanam atmana vetah tvam purusho tamaha bhuta bhavana bhutesha deva deva jagatpatehe. Swayam eva atmanam atmana veta. God's glories can be understood only by God. The full extent of Ishvara's vibhuti can be understood only by Ishvara. Very important to recognize this. We may not be able to do the whole verse today, but this point has to be recognized. Ishvara in his Swarupa, as Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahman, all of us can recognize. If you can develop the qualifications, learn Vedanta, get the Nishtha with meditation, etc., Dhyan, Nididhyasanam, etc., all of us can recognize the depth of Ishvara as a Swarupa. But the manifested glories of Ishvara, not one of us can see the whole thing. Our human minds are too puny, too limited to understand the whole glories. We can understand some. Again in the camp, the 6th level, I will talk about this again. Okay. So all the glories, human minds cannot understand. Only Ishvara knows Ishvara's glories. Tvameva veti, atmanam atmana veti. And if there is an Ishvara, the only way human beings can know it is Ishvara reveals himself. Either directly or through the Veda, etc. There is no other way. How will you know? No amount of logic can even prove an Ishvara. How will you prove Ishvara? Gatasya karta, gataknyaha. There is a pot. Therefore, there has to be a potter, no? Who knows the pot? There is a creation. Therefore, you have to know Ishvara is the creator. Huh? How did you make that jump? You know there is a pot because you have seen finite things being created. There is an example available. This is created because I have seen the creation of something similar, this. Therefore, you can say extension that this is also created. How can you say the whole universe is created? How many universes have you seen being created? To say that this particular universe is created like some other universe. कुछ देखा है कभी? So how do you establish this universe is a creation? How do you establish that? There is no way. No logic will support that. Swamiji, what about science? Science doesn't talk about creation at all. Therefore, logically, you cannot prove an Ishvara because you can't prove this is a creation, much alone the connection between this and Ishvara. Number one. Number two, whether Ishvara is one or many, how can you prove? This building got redeveloped. It's a 10-story building, bus, 20 flats. How many people were involved in creating this? Architects, engineers, bricklayers, carpenters, masons, workers. How many people? Now how can you say one Ishvara? There should be a whole pantheon. If you're going by logic, this is where you'll end. Like how the Greeks became, you ended up with a pantheon of gods, etc. All religions recognize this. That is why all religions claim to be from Ishvara, directly or indirectly. All religions claim that because they know that this is irrefutable. Only way you know Ishvara is if Ishvara reveals himself. No other way. Otherwise, according to your psychological maturity, you will have various ideas of Ishvara. Even if Ishvara was to reveal himself to you, your understanding of that Ishvara will be limited by your psychological maturity. Let me give you an example. Ishvara comes in front of you right now and says, what do you want? Ask. क्या पूछेगा? My parents should be okay. My children should be okay. My business should do well. My work should be free from problems. What will you ask? Sanjay, I want a flat in Bombay. It's Ishvara room, Baba. It's Ishvara. The universe is available for your asking. What will you ask? Some piddly little, some small little thing. Now don't be smart and say, Swamiji, I'll ask for moksha. You called me to ask for moksha. What are you doing? Local teachers are available. I have appointed all of them. Go learn from them. Why are you asking me for moksha? And the local teachers that you are exposed to understand your world very well, okay? The sense and nonsense that's happening in your life, they understand that very well and they can relate to. They've been there, so they know what it is about. Are you getting the idea? Therefore, it's only Ishvara that can understand all of Ishvara's glories. Therefore, some glories we see. Some glories we see. We don't see everything. We don't see everything. Okay? Therefore, Vetatvam Purushottama. Therefore, he is setting up the base. Therefore, tell me some of your glories, he says later. But that is later. Okay? Since only you know all your glories, tell me some of your glories so that I can worship you like that. Yeah. Because commonplace things I can't invoke you in. I can't call you Bottaleshwaraha. Nothing, it leaves me cold. Unless you like hitting the bottle, then those special bottles you can call. This is old monk. So old monk, no? I can relate to the old monk. My guru is also old monk. Therefore, the Lord of the monks, Yatishwara, Lord Shiva, okay? And that idiotic notion that has gone around, Lord Shiva is always with bhang. Someone like this only created that, I'm telling you. Or some guru like me must have joked and they took it seriously. Yeah. So, Lord has to reveal, and He reveals. Okay, He reveals. But I wanted to set up this base. Okay, so only half the verse is done. We will see that verse more details after the camp. So the camp has come the right place for the class, for this class, because 6 levels of understanding God you will have with you. Okay, yeah. So night is still young. Have a great time. Enjoy yourselves. Okay, Om Tat Sat.